FourC Life, Episode 10, The Struggle. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Lisa.
So, we wanted to give a quick fertility update before we get into our main topic of the day. So, as of today, March 13th, we are in the middle of our frozen embryo protocol.
Right.
So, we got the word on Tuesday of this prior week that all of my levels were back to baseline and ready to go for transfer. So, we started estrogen patches that night, and as of tonight I'll increase to 2 estrogen patches, and then we go back Monday for a quick blood work sonogram check to see how the estrogen is progressing, and they'll let me know if we're going to then increase to 3.
Right.
No shots right now, which is a nice break. Apparently the Lupron was just not doing what it was supposed to. Yeah.
Like we said, your body just wasn't into it, which is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's cool. Our transfer plans for 3/26. That'll be the day of the embryo transfer.
As of the appointment on the 21st to confirm.
Oh, okay. Thanks for that reminder. Okay, so when we find out on the 21st that your transfer is going to be confirmed for the 26th, so then we're safe to say it's definitely going to be the 26th.
Yes, based on how everything looks.
Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you. So, after the transfer itself, we actually plan to get out of the city for the week, just to keep things chill, lay low, enjoy some time with some fresh air and some space and some quiet.
Definitely.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to that.
Much needed. We'll do some foodie things and little outdoorsy things. So
hopefully the weather will cooperate. And if it doesn't, that's all right.
We'll make it work. But during that week, we will film an episode about the 2-week wait. Thankfully, it's actually only a 9-day wait.
Yeah.
It's a little less than 2 weeks.
Definitely.
But we'll bring our little setup and we'll do that while we're there so that everyone can kind of get a feel in real time, how we're feeling. So we're excited.
Yes, it's
a couple
very
of
exciting.
more medications will get added in as of the 21st, but one step at a time. And we'll definitely keep you all posted how it's going. In other news, we've been doing a lot of work with our coach, Meg, business and life coach. So excited to be working with her.
She's awesome.
Thank you so much, Meg. So a lot of brand work, which is really cool, just finding our voice, finding out who our audience is, all of you who are out there. It's really cool. We identify a specific person, right, that we're addressing. And a lot of you that we know that follow along are great kind of models for that person that we're identifying with. We're working potentially, spoiler, on a new name.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. We do have
a completely new name.
Yes, we do have a great love and appreciation for the 4Cs, but we don't feel that it is necessarily epitomizing
who and what we are.
Yes. So we want to be a little bit more clear with that. So we're working on that.
Yeah. And I'm really enjoying, focusing and really zeroing in with what makes us unique so that we can prepare content and engage more followers,
Definitely. But not just that, but those of you who are already supporting us, we want to make sure that we're showing and doing exactly what it is that you're interested in and figuring out what it is that sets us apart from others. So, but I will say it was really interesting. So one of the things that we're working through is what our core values are and what us and our followers believe in. So of course we believe in things like love is love, equality for all, Black Lives Matter, so many things. I just get chills that are just so important and near and dear to us. But one of the things that Meg brought up, she said, what about, for your followers and yourselves, body positivity?
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
That struck a little bit of a chord for us.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, this is definitely not just a one-episode situation. I think this is something that, because it's a struggle. It's a daily struggle, for a lot of people and for us. And it's definitely something we realized we wanted to address ongoing. Because, this is kind of how FourC started. It's our roots. We were not raised in a time where body positivity was a thing. It was all about, skinny is acceptable, and, fat is not.
And also, we were taught so much, like, modesty and to, like, cover up. And, like, those of you who, like, know us really well, in the summertime, we go to the beach. I wear a tankini, and I wear, like, a little skirt. And, like, I'm 30-something, right? I'm not, I don't mean this to be ageist at all, but, like, I'm not, like, an older woman who needs to wear, like, a skirt. It just doesn't feel very age appropriate, but I'm not comfortable with letting my thighs out and about at the beach, and I spend a lot of time at the beach. But that all goes back to, how my body is, and it can be really hard for me to see other people embracing their bodies. I don't mean to, like, be judgy, but because it's something that's uncomfortable for me, I nowadays will see a girl on the beach who's my size or bigger or whatever in a bikini, and I'm like, yes, sister, you got this, right? Like, you go, girl. But it just doesn't sit for me yet, so
Yeah.
it's hard. And I always had confidence, but I just always had this belief that I needed to be smaller to get what I wanted. It was always, when I'm skinny, this, or when I'm thinner, this. Not even skinny. When I lose the weight, this. Right down to when we were in college, which we're going to get to in the next story of us, 20 years ago, I was a theater major. And, like, felt like, because I didn't necessarily look like the other girls, that I should, like, not pursue it. I was insecure, and I went instead behind the scenes, which now 20 years later I regret on a daily basis, and it sucks.
It really does. I mean, I always wanted to be a plus size model. Well, because I was plus size, there was really no other option for me. So I had to be, but I was too short anyway, so it was, like, never happening. But regardless, even then, so many years ago, I mean, there was one famous plus size model. You remember Emmy?
Yeah. I was going to say Emmy.
I think, yeah.
And then what about the girl who was, like, a Lane Bryant model as well with the dark hair? She was, like, the Kashif model.
I don't remember her name.
Was it Steven Tyler's daughter?
Oh,
yeah.
I think so.
The other one,
right.
Not Liv, but the other sister.
Yeah. So, like, it wasn't as widespread. It wasn't, all these clothing stores didn't have plus sizes, mm-hmm. and so they didn't have plus size models. But, like, it was frustrating that, like, my body wasn't as accepted, aside from the height part, and my mindset is still stuck there. That, I will never be enough.
You feel.
I feel.
Yes.
Sorry. Apologies. My mindset is, I feel I will never be accepted if I am not small enough.
It's hard, and even after losing 155 pounds, I still constantly feel like there's this, like, spotlight on me of, like, it's weird. It's my own thing. Like, is she going to keep it off? Oh, she gained weight. Like, I feel like...
Well, that's because we hear, all those things from the media, or even, like, when we watch television shows, right? Like, oh, so-and-so, first of all, so-and-so got surgery, and, like, oh, they're putting the weight back on. So it's not silly for you to be feeling that way and hearing those voices in your head. And people doubted us, I feel like, people can sometimes doubt big dreamers.
Yes.
And so...
here we are. We are still doubted to this day.
That's
love
like
y'all, but
a whole other subject. That is like a whole other subject. But, you went to, like, infinity and beyond, right? Like, we changed, and we're going to get into more of this in the story of us, too. Like, we did a 360, 420.
I love you so much.
I don't know what it is, but we went and
we did that.
We went like that, and we did magical things, and we really came out like completely new people, which was amazing for us.
But the sad thing, we've talked about this 500 times, is that my mind did not see my body, how thin it was, and then having put like 50 pounds back on, I look back and I'm like, I really wish I could have embraced that. And I still think in my mind that people are looking at me like, there's Michelle getting fat again. And, like, listen, that goes back to just like a childhood story I tell myself. It's not even necessarily what people were saying, but there's always been a lot of focus for me on what I'm eating and what I look like and what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong and, like, what I'm tracking and what is a cheat food and what is not a cheat food. And, like, we've talked about this a lot too. And even like with my therapist, like this is a narrative that needs to change before we have children, because it is going to be really hard. I don't want to put that on them, and I don't want to be that kind of mom, but I of course need to keep health and fitness and being healthy as the focus. And so finding ways to talk to them about that, like mommy does this because she wants to be healthy, or this is just what we do, we just eat healthy and we just exercise, not because of this like lifelong struggle. Right.
And just to reiterate, we think body positivity is amazing. It's just something that we haven't been able to grasp for ourselves personally. I mean, it's incredible to see how the world has changed, and that, and listen, Lizzo is still getting, trolls of all kinds, even Ashley Graham gets, trolls, and even Athleta has an amazing program where they have, body positivity models.
Lulu's incorporating them now.
Right.
Peloton's incorporating them now.
And
I will say, it's amazing, but at first, I'm taken aback because it's just not what we grew up in.
Right.
And like, I don't judge it or I think it's amazing. But like for me, I know that like I feel most comfortable at a certain size and a certain weight, and so it triggers me a little bit because I was very big, and like I know how uncomfortable I was at that size. Mm-hmm. So more power to everyone else. But for me, the issue too is like, having been really heavy and then having been here and now being like somewhere around here,
right?
It's like I still have this like whole thing that's like, are people judging that I'm not as intense as we used to be, or that we used to work out 24/7, and like I want to just go eat a freaking chip cookie, and I don't want to gain 50 pounds, and I also don't want anyone to judge me. So I think that brings us to a really good point, right? Mm-hmm. And so this is what we're talking about with Meg in our brand, and like what we want to bring to people, which is like authenticity and realness. And so we actually had a friend say to us, and I think we've mentioned this before, the mornings that you guys can't get out of bed and exercise, which is most mornings, I want to see it and know it, because I think it's a struggle that we can all relate to. So we want to make
hope so.
I think.
Because, geez.
I know. So we want to make this a conversation. We want to make this like a dialogue, and we want to just be really real and honest that even though we've gone the spectrum of like being really heavy and losing a lot of weight, and now we kind of fall somewhere in the middle, it's an ongoing thing for us. That's it.
It's I need to take a deep breath because that was like intense.
I also stepped on some of Lisa's lines.
And that's okay.
I had a lot of passion.
That's totally fine, that's the point of this.
Let's do like your last line then.
Yeah. Our core values that we're, working with Meg on are honesty and authenticity and constant improvement. Mind, body, and soul. And like, let's give each other and ourselves a fucking break.
Yes, with the F-bomb, Lisa. Even though we said that's one of our off-limit words.
It's okay. We can do a little bleep.
We could try to do the bleep.
We could do a bleep. But for real, come on, everyone, let's get real. And hey, listen, if you're waking up at 5 a.m.,
yes,
we're cheering you on.
We want to do that.
The problem is that we have to take the pressure off ourselves because we know that that's like not really our strength.
Right now, it's not going to work for us.
Yeah.
But there are other things we can do.
Mm-hmm.
And most days we do our best to do them. But sometimes, I just want to have a cookie. And gosh, I haven't had pizza or a bagel in God knows how long. It's sad to me.
Yeah. It's true, especially the pizza part.
I know. Maybe when we go on our little retrieval break or transfer break. Retrievals are over.
Please.
But this is definitely not the end of this conversation, but we definitely wanted to put it out there, as we're sure many people we hope can relate to the shame of imperfection and wanting to embrace yourself as you are. There's a lot of shame behind it. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And it's like you're worried that you're being judged and you're not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? We're trying to learn that that's okay. We're definitely not going to be perfect as parents. We have to understand that.
No.
But we're going to do our best, and that's all we can do every day.
Yeah, all of this especially coming into play on the body positivity portion in the fertility journey, because a year ago when we began quarantine, we actually lost. We took off some extra weight, which we were both really proud of. But through the fertility struggles, the retrievals, and the hormones, you know, we've put that weight back on, unfortunately. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. So this is going to be an ongoing struggle through pregnancy and postpartum as well.
Definitely. So please be gentle with us as we navigate and do our best to share the realities of the toll that the weight takes on us at times. It truly is a lifelong process for us, and we really appreciate all of your support, just for being here, just for watching, your comments, your messages. I mean, we're being real, we're being honest. Like, some days are easier than others, and some days we nail it, and some days we don't. And it's not like we're sitting down to bags of chips and,
no,
you know, unfortunately.
And that's okay if that's
you
what
are,
you can do.
Hey.
That's awesome.
I mean, send a chip my way.
Please.
I mean, Jess King eats a lot of chips. Yeah. But I don't look like Jess King.
Definitely just live vicariously through that.
Yes. Yeah. Thank God she posts it all the time.
Definitely. Thanks for tuning into the struggle. DM us with questions and let us know things that you want to hear about or see more of. We'd love to hear from you all. We really appreciate all the support in all ways.
Definitely.
So we will
talk to you soon.
Bye.